Well, anyhow, getting to be that time of year, eh?
Yeah. Horses eat it.
I'm a deer hunter, how do you do? I got the deer hunting rapping tale for you. I'm so excited, it's my favorite time of year. I love to feast my buns, chasing trophy deer. But don't clap your hands to the stomping of the feet, cause yeah, he's like me, he can't keep a steady beat, no.
Come on, I guess get with the beat. Hey, you can do it.
I got this great big knife, cause the hunting is my life. It's my chance to drink beer and get away from the wife. It's a boys' night out, acting stupidly. Say now, baby, don't you think maybe, how about you and me, yeah? Well, we partied all night, never made it to our bunks, and I was sitting in the tree stand on a 3-day drunk. Wind was blowing 45, temp 30 below. I was freezing to death, then it started to snow. So I got down from the tree stand, started heading for the truck, and that's when I seen it there. The 30-point buck.
30-point buck.
30-point buck. 30-point buck. Well, he was 8 foot tall, weighed 12,000 pounds. With every step there was a shaking of the ground. He was so rutherful, so beautiful, strutted right out of my dreams. He was created by God, just for outdoor magazines. Now I'm not much for thinking, no I don't do it often, but I had an idea.
Yeah, what was that?
To put that 30-pointer right in his coffin. Yeah.
Get him there, Clyde. I believe it when I see it there, buddy. 30-point buck.
Couldn't get to my grenades.
All right, it's that magical time of the year. It is the night before opening day of the gun season. I am the first one arriving at deer camp, so that means I get the crappy job of digging our outhouse today because we don't have running water at deer camp this year, but we have this beautiful cabin to use right in the middle of the hunting section. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get some footage this year. Hopefully, we get to see some big deer. There'll be plenty of deer out here. It's just a matter we can get them on camera. We know there'll be lots of fun had, lots of deer seen. Hopefully, we chase them around. Should be fun. Well, a pile of dirt and a shovel at deer camp can only mean one thing. Outhouse is ready. This year's outhouse, sponsored by Vrabel. So we got a nice little cozy outhouse this year, if I don't say so myself. Does a Winslow shit in the woods. We got a nice hole. Look at it, we upgraded this year. We'll be pooping in heat this year. We're spoiled.
Yeah, the women clapping in the back there, I gotta like that. Well, you were coming for me, getting bigger and bigger, but my fingers were so frozen I could not pull the trigger. I kicked off my boots, fired with my big toe. I was Dirty Harry, John Wayne, and G.I. Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
really quiet morning. Not a lot of deer moving around on their own. And then when the neighbors start shooting and another neighbor starts walking through their woods, it stirred the pot a little bit. I had about 12 does and fawns run around me for a little bit, and then I just got snuck up on by a small buck and a doe. So nice little 8-pointer. Hopefully he makes it through the year and gets bigger next year. But I think I'm gonna climb down and walk to the cabin, get some lunch and a coffee, and go back at it again this afternoon. Well, no shots fired this morning out of the Winslow group. We just got done having lunch, and deer aren't really moving around by themselves, so a quick change of pace. We're going to a different farm. We're gonna do a quick drive, see if any deer are in here, see if we can get them up and moving, and see if we can get a little action. Well, the walkers did their part. They kicked up a deer and ran it right past me. I just couldn't decide if it was a doe or a fawn, so I decided not to shoot and let her live another day. Well, now it's time to head out for the evening sit. I'm going to be sitting in a blind this time, overlooking a cut cornfield. See if I can be there if they come out to eat tonight right before dark. We'll see. parade of does and fawns walked by me this morning. They were being pushed by a medium-sized buck and went into the neighbors, and neighbor did some shooting. I talked to him. He said they shot a doe. So hopefully there's a good sign of hunting's getting better than it was yesterday. Day 2, midday. The rest of the morning was pretty slow and uneventful, and then the wind picked up. If you can even hear me right now, it's pretty windy out right now. We're back at the other farm to do our midday drive, and we'll see if anybody's home today. Well, the Winslows are finally on the board during our midday drive at the other farm. We kicked up a nice buck, ran it past Dad, and it tipped over. So we'll hopefully get some pictures or a video of the deer, but we're officially on the board. So back at it. There he is, the man of the hour, big buck slayer. Get a good look. 11-pointer, about 17 inches wide. He just chose the wrong bed back in the middle of nowhere at this farm that we run. So yeah, we're on the board. So after a fairly slow morning, things really escalated there. I heard a big crash and looked up and wasn't quite sure what the sound was, and there was a buck breathing real heavy and a doe. Shot the buck. Buck's down over there. And then there was another buck, so I think it was two bucks sparring right in front of a doe. Buck later presented himself, and it was another nice one. I shot that. I ran onto the neighbor's property, and then a group of doe and fawn ran underneath me, and I shot a doe. So I may have just shot 3 deer. The problem is two of them ran onto the neighbors. One of them is down. We'll go get a look at that one, but I might need to do some trailing here to find the other 2. All right, we found deer number 1. Not a monster, but a nice one. Start field dressing them here. Well, we found deer number 2 thanks to our tracking expert here. Tracked her, how far did we track her? Quarter of a mile? Quarter to half a mile. She laid down. Well, she got up and ran once, and then found another ditch. We had to call the neighbor. We found her, though. 2 of 3. Hopefully we can find the 3rd one. Well, we were able to find 2 out of the 3, but couldn't find the second buck that I shot. Probably ran into the neighbors, into their main woods, and I'll probably have to leave it to them, but we got the two loaded up. Now it's time for lunch. Let's see what else we can find.
Bula bula bula! Bula bula bula! Bula bula bula!
Well, our 3-day weekend hunt at the Stagger Farm is over. Another great year. It was slow until all of a sudden it wasn't. I found myself in the right spot. I was all of a sudden just surrounded by deer, and was fortunate enough to take a buck and take a doe, and then Dad got a nice buck out at the other farm, and we had fun, and yeah, great time. Can't wait for next year.
Did you see the turdy pointer?
Did you see the turdy pointer?
Did you see the turdy pointer?
Did you see the turdy pointer? As we jumped into the truck, then I'm gonna get that
30-point buck.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that 30-point buck. I'm gonna get that 30-point buck.
30-point buck. 30-point buck. 30-point buck. 30-point buck. Hey, there he goes! There he goes!
I'm gonna get that 30-point buck. Yeah, I'm gonna get that 30-point buck. The last thing I do, I'm gonna get that 30-point buck.